Well, the objective for the Lancaster Barnstormers is clear. Win, and then win again, and then win a third time. It's that simple. Anything short of that, and the Barnstormers are done roughly at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. If they can pull it off, however, the Lancaster Barnstormers will advance to the postseason, the ultimate goal. The Barnstormers have had a great year. There's no question about that. They've got overall record in the Atlantic League, the chance to finish with the best overall record. They have clinched the best overall Freedom Division record for the season. And with 2 wins this weekend, they can have the 3rd highest win total in the history of the franchise. But the playoffs, a championship ring, the ultimate goal, and that could elude this Barnstormers ball club if they do not win all 3 games here this weekend. It's going to be a tall order. Here's what the Barnstormers are facing this weekend. Not only do you come in to York, where the Revs, who have been the best team overall the second half, are just outstanding seemingly, although 33-33 on the year. The Barnstormers have been able to come in here and go 4-5 this year. You're also facing their 3 best starting pitchers. They've got Jay Gauss going tonight. He's won 10 games. Frank Gailey will make the start on Sunday. He's won 14. And Mateo, who's been tough on the Barnstormers a couple of times. The Barnstormers come at the York Revolution with Joe Gardner, who they haven't seen yet. Joe's, as we know, capable of coming out and pitching great baseball at any given time. And then tomorrow night, it will be Brad Bergeson, who has been struggling, fighting a dead arm. He's got that one last start in him. We'll see how much he has tomorrow night. And then Tommy Shirley on Sunday afternoon, who is, again, capable of coming out at any given time and pitching a great ball game. Like Gardner, he's been up and down, in and out, and coming off a pretty good start his last time out. So is it a tall order? Yes. But when it's a tall order, when you're not expected to do it, sometimes that's when great things happen. And the Barnstormers are hoping for a weekend to remember here at Peoples Bank Park. If it doesn't happen, well, they've had a season to remember, and a lot of good times, a lot of great wins, just like last night, to stay alive. But again, the ultimate goal for these guys is to come in here, win 3, and then win 6 more, and to do something they are not expected to do at this point, and that is take the Atlantic League crown here in 2017. Joe Gardner and Jay Gauss, the starting pitchers here tonight. Gardner 2-4 with a 6.59 ERA. Gauss is 10-3. His earned run average is 2.98. Right now, the Barnstormers just have to focus on tonight and taking this one from the York Revolution, and then they'll worry about tomorrow. That is how it's set up here this evening. As is my tradition, I go through the coaching staff and get sort of an end-of-the-year summary on their part of the ball club. Tonight, Scott Patterson is my guest. We'll talk about the pitching staff and how he feels his first year as a pitching coach went. I'll be back with Scott in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
It's a new season with a new manager, but Gockenauers is still here supporting your 2017 Lancaster Barnstormers. Hi, I'm Adam Gockenauer, and I want you to know Gockenauers is committed to serving you and our local community in everything we do. We've been in business for 68 years and are 4 generations strong. Stop in today to see how appliance and grill shopping can be a pleasant experience and save you money at the same time. I'll be back after the Dugout Report to tell you about our special events this season.
Welcome back to this edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. And as we wrap up the 2017 regular season, we'll make the rounds of the coaching staff this weekend. Joining me tonight is the pitching coach, Scott Patterson. And Scott, coming to the end of this season and a great come-from-behind win for this ball club last night. We're still in it. You just met with your pitchers. What did you tell them about this weekend?
All we really, when we have our meeting, we just go over the hottest hitters, who's hot, who the past 10 games. And then we go over how we're going to pitch them, how those guys are going to pitch them, what they want to do. And the reason why I do, because each guy kind of is going to pitch them different. So we're going to make sure the catcher knows when that pitcher comes in, what he wants to do with the guy.
And York has been hitting the ball very well as of late, so it can be a difficult lineup to get through. But the last time we were here, the club took 2 out of 3.
Yeah. I mean, we know it's at stake. We need 3 out of 3 here. So hopefully we can, hopefully our pitchers can do the job and see what happens.
The starting staff has certainly struggled here down the stretch. Joe Gardner had given us 3 great starts in a row and then struggled against Southern Maryland last weekend. So going in tonight against this York ball club, they haven't seen him yet. He hasn't faced them yet. What's the anticipation?
That's keep him off balance. Keep him off balance. Joe throws, not so much off balance, but he throws a lot of sinker. So hopefully pounding the ball into the ground, guys are positioned right and make the plays.
Over the course of the season, you've lost some key people, especially in the starting rotation. Nate Reed was really hot when he left. Brian Evans, always capable of coming out and pitching the big game for us. How tough has it been, especially with that starting rotation, especially with a couple of the arms in that rotation breaking down lately? How tough has it been to keep it going and keep those guys in a flow?
It's just been that 5th and 6th inning's been a little rough. Once we get past there, we're good. Once we get to the 7th, 8th, and 9th, we're good. But it's that little bit. It's that 5th and 6th inning what's getting to us. But we figure it out. We just got to go to the bullpen a little early.
This ball club has had an easier time with certain lineups. The teams that strike out a lot. The Long Islands, times the Southern Marylands, the Sugarlands have been easier for this ball club to face than those pesky hitters like Somerset and Bridgeport. York has a ball club that's a little bit more like the former than the latter. What was it about Somerset and Bridgeport that was so difficult for a pitching staff?
They try to strike too many out instead of just 3 pitches, trying to get them to hit the pitch to contact. That's the biggest thing with those teams like that. You just got to pitch to contact. And make them try to get them out within 3 pitches.
Rami Lewis last night, a rough beginning to the ball game, but he turned it around, kept his ball club in there. Really a gutsy performance for Rami.
Yeah, 113 pitches, and me and Ross were talking at the end, and even Ross said he got better as the game got into the later innings. He got a little better, a little sharper.
How would you grade your overall performance this year and the staff's overall performance?
I learned a lot, and I'm still learning. And I think I got better as the year went on. There was some things I need to work on, and the staff performance. I thought, man, we gave it all we got. I know the pitching staff as a whole struggled, but I mean, you got guys out there that'll give you everything they got, and that's kind of all you can ask for.
Yeah. How tough is it pitching at Clipper Magazine Stadium? You experienced it on the Hill for a few years. Obviously, that right field porch is very close, and guys tend to shy away from it. So how do you get them through that and now coaching them as opposed to doing it yourself?
We don't even talk about it because you just don't want to think about it. You know what I mean? You're throwing to the glove, not to the wall. So I mean that's the biggest thing. It doesn't even come up in conversation. You just stay away from it.
Well, Scott, thanks for taking time out. Thanks for a great season, and hopefully we get to extend it another couple of weeks.
Sure hope so. We'll give it all we got here.
Scott Patterson joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. I'll be back with these starting lineups for tonight's game in just a moment. A must-win game for the Lancaster Barnstormers coming your way next on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Another great dugout report. Adam Gockenauer from Gockenauer Appliances back with you again to remind you to please stop by our showroom in East Petersburg to see all the best appliance brands on the market today. Brands like GE, Maytag, Whirlpool, Speed Queen, and Fisher & Paykel. We not only can save you money on your purchase, but provide you with our own service, delivery, and installation. Join our family and let us show you how fun appliance shopping can be. Gockenauers in East Petersburg.
Hey, Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
Here are the starting lineups for this evening's ball game. The Barnstormers tonight will be led off by Darian Sanford. No surprise there, he's in center. Batting second will be the designated hitter, Bo Amaral. Caleb Gindel will hit third. He will be in right field. The cleanup hitter is third baseman Sean Holton. Trayvon Robinson will be batting fifth. He is out in left. The shortstop is Nate Coronado batting sixth. Steve Clevenger will be in the number 7 slot. He's doing the catching. Josh Bell will hit 8th at first base. And Lance Sawatsky rounding out the lineup tonight, batting 9th as the second baseman. On the hill will be right-hander Joe Gardner. He is entering play tonight with a record of 2 wins and 4 losses. For the Revs, it will be Alonzo Harris, a viable candidate to be the league's MVP. He is leading off in left field. The right fielder, batting number 2, is Jared Mitchell. Ruby Silva, recently acquired from the Can-Am League, is the second baseman batting third. Telvin Nash is the cleanup hitter and first baseman. The designated hitter batting in the number 5 slot is Isaias Tejeda. Luis Cruz is batting 6th. He's doing the catching. Travis Witherspoon in center field hitting 7th. The shortstop batting number 8 is Ryan Dent. And Chase Simpson, the third baseman, is batting in the number 9 slot. On the hill is Jay Gauss. He's quite the interesting story. He was out of baseball for a couple of years, rejoined the game in midseason this year, June the 15th. He signed with the York Revolution, and he revolutionized this ball club. It's one of the big acquisitions of the year. We've talked a lot about Devin Rodriguez. We've talked a lot about Nate Coronado, guys new to the Atlantic League, young guys new to the Atlantic League, but Jay Gauss certainly is up there for the midseason signing of the year, just finding a diamond in the rough, and York has done that. Gauss coming into tonight with a record of 10 wins and 3 losses. It's the Barnstormers and the York Revolution. It's as if the Barnstormers are down 2-0 in a best-of-5 series. They must win the next 3 in order to make it to the postseason. We'll have play-by-play baseball coming your way next right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
You're never too young to appreciate a great deal. The Barnyard Bunch is back and better than ever. Members get field box tickets for 6 home games presented by Penn State Hershey, plus 6 free passes to B.R. Kreider Kids Park, 2 free Isaac's Kids Meals, 2 tickets to the Chocolate World 4D Experience, 2 passes to Hands-On House, an exclusive Barnyard Bunch t-shirt, and plenty more in a summer of fun at Clipper Magazine Stadium. All for just $25. Sign up at the stadium or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com/barnyardbunch, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Hey, Jane, check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with 9s in a line, you could win Progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Well, you can't ask for much better September baseball weather than we have tonight here at Peoples Bank Park. Temperatures today got into the lower 80s, and we should have a very mild evening as the Barnstormers and York Revolution tangle here tonight. Should be almost a playoff atmosphere at Peoples Bank Park. York wins, and the Revs clinch. It is that simple. York's next victory puts them in the playoffs. Sugar Land was eliminated last night. It's down to the Revs and the Barnstormers. The other division, the Liberty division, is down to the Long Island Ducks and the Bridgeport Bluefish. Bridgeport beat Sugar Land in extra innings last night, And the Bluefish now within 2 of the Long Island Ducks. Bridgeport holds the tiebreaker. Long Island, meanwhile, has gone down to Sugar Land to wrap up the season down there, whereas Bridgeport will wrap up the season and arguably the history of the Bluefish this weekend at home against the Somerset Patriots. It'll be, I'm sure, a bittersweet weekend at Harbor Yard, but there is that possibility they could extend Bridgeport baseball history a little bit longer with a big series against Somerset and getting some help from the Sugar Land Skeeters. The Ducks' magic number is 2. Any combination of 2 Long Island wins and Bridgeport losses will put Long Island into the playoffs. It would be another Liberty Division series between the Ducks and the Somerset Patriots. This division is Southern Maryland and the York Revolution. More than likely, the Barnstormers trying to steal it away from them here this weekend. So that is how it is set up. The Revs have yet to hit the field behind Jay Gauss, who has completed his warm-up throws down in the bullpen. Play-by-play baseball is going to be upon us very shortly. And the Revs now taking the field with a very dark blue jersey, almost black jersey on here this evening with the numbers in camo. I believe these are the jerseys similar to what they had for their 10th anniversary season a year ago. Now we're going to turn you down to the field and our opening ceremonies.
The semifinal rounds of America's Got Talent in 2010. In 2012, they were also contestants on the X Factor show where they made it to the top 100. Please welcome, sing the national anthem, the Rossums. Oh, can you see?
Different, but well done in 4-part harmony this evening, our national anthem at Peoples Bank Park. And now the York Revolution trying to wrap up the divisional title and another trip to the postseason. Second year in a row that York would go. They played the Sugar Land Skeeters in the first round in 2016 and looking to play Southern Maryland in the first round in 2017. The Barnstormers still with that chance to steal. They need to win all 3 here this weekend. Big right-hander Jake Gauss on the hill tonight for the Revs. Gauss from Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. He is 6'2", and checks in at 260 pounds. He is 25 years of age. And an interesting story, he was drafted twice and did sign with the Houston Astros back in 2014. He went to Tri-City in the New York Penn League up in the Capital District of New York State, and got a few appearances in and felt that his arm was dead and gave up baseball. He stepped away for a couple of years, worked at a nuclear energy plant, decided to give it a go, tried out in Puerto Rico at one point last year, and ended up in York starting in mid-June. He has had a tremendous season for the Revolution. His record 10-3. His earned run average is 2.98. The right-hander has gone 87 2/3 innings. He has yielded 78 hits, 29 earned runs. He has walked 42, struck out 72. One time the Barnstormers faced Gauss. They got a lot of base runners, but did not put too many runs across the plate. 7 hits, 4 walks in 5 innings. They only scored 2 runs against Gauss that night. That was the game the Barnstormers rallied in the top half of the 9th inning to tie the game on a 2-out bases-loaded double by Sean Holton, and then won it on an RBI single by Garrett Weber in the 10th inning. Darian Sanford ready to lead off, but couldn't as of yet because the Barnstormers had no first base coach. So out goes Jose Garcia. He will handle that chore for the moment, and the switch-hitting Sanford, last night's hero, steps in to lead off here this evening. Darian's average has dipped to 330, but don't test this guy in those late-inning RBI situations twice in the last 9 games. He has had the winning hit for the Barnstormers, 2 outs into the 9th inning. 25 runs batted in for Darian Sanford. Here is the motion. Gauss to the plate. Sanford swings away and fouls it off. He goes down a strike at his 0-1. Chase Simpson is at third base. The shortstop, Ryan Dent. Ruby Silva is playing second. Telvin Nash over at first. Harris, Witherspoon, and Mitchell. Alonzo Harris, Travis Witherspoon, Jared Mitchell, the outfield from left to right. Luis Cruz is doing the catching. Sanford shows bunt, but Gauss misses badly outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, 300 the dimension to left field here at Peoples Bank Park, but they've got the 37-foot high wall you have to clear. It's 400 to center here and 325 down the right field line. Gauss misses low, 2-1 on Sanford. Manolo Alejandro calling balls and strikes here tonight. Jorge Terran, the first base umpire. Thomas Gandolfo is over at third. Here's the windup and the 2-1. Ball 3 is wide. 3-1 to Sanford. Gauss does walk his fair share of batters, and he certainly does not want to put Sanford on. Anytime Darian is on base, he presents an immediate challenge. 3 balls, 1 strike. Sanford well up on the bat handle as always. Here's the pitch, and Gauss locates the outside corner. We go to 3-2. He found it with a fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield cheating Sanford very far the other way. He's got a lot of daylight in right center. Here's the payoff pitch, taken low, ball 4. Sanford has the leadoff base on balls. 3 nights ago, he became the 4th Barnstormer in history to steal 40 bases in a year, joining Gilberto Mejia, Travis Hake, and Quincy Foster. 40 out of 53 for Sanford. Of course, he's done it in less than half a season. Bo Amaral will step in. 285 in. Lancaster with some options here. Sanford out to a good size lead. He's going to stay put. A ball is low. Amaral with the early advantage. 1 ball and no strikes. Right fielder Caleb Gindel scheduled to bat next. Lancaster has only scored the first run in 14 of the last 39 games. They're 10-4 when they have, 6-19 when they have not. Pickoff throw to first. Sanford barely escapes. Gauss, a very good move over to Telvin Nash holding the runner. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Amaral. Bo not played at a great depth around the outfield either, but deeper than Sanford was. Gauss ready to go. Sanford's going to take off. The pitch is low, and Gauss, or Cruz rather, can't handle it cleanly. Sanford has his 41st steal. The Barnstormers move a runner into scoring position. Bo Amaral up there, 2 balls and no strikes. Looking for a pitch he can drive to knock in a run. The Barnstormers sweep the series. They'll forge a tie with York, but Lancaster would have the tiebreaker. Here's a 2-0. Amaral knocks a foul off in the other direction. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Bo pinch ran last night and took over for Trayvon Robinson. Or Cole Garner, rather, after Garner got hurt. Robinson took over for Amaral 2 nights ago. Two and 1 to the Barnstormer designated hitter. At least trying to get Sanford to third base on the AB. Gauss ready to go. Here's the 2-1. Bo gets ball 3 off the outside corner. We go to 3 balls and a strike. Gauss working himself into trouble early with control issues. He has missed with 7 of his 10 pitches so far. Sanford leading off second. Amaral bats, 3 balls and a strike. The set and the pitch. Amaral swings and fouls it off again. Amaral's been a very good hitter with runners in scoring position. 372. Full count pitch is coming. Gauss ready to go. Here's the payoff. Line drive into left field, a base hit. Sanford will not be able to score on this. Up with it in a hurry is Alonzo Harris firing back in. Sanford had to make sure that the ball would clear Ryan Dent. It did easily. But just like right field at Clipper Magazine Stadium, left field, you play short here, and no chance for Sanford to come around and score. You don't want to risk it with nobody out in the inning. Caleb Gindel to the plate. Caleb at 277 with 10 home runs, 53 runs batted in. The Barnstormers would love to get a big jump on Jay Gauss here in the first inning. They have runners at first and third with nobody out. Gindel in charge of getting that first man home. Infield set up, double play depth. Gauss to the belt, and to Gindel, swing and a line drive, base hit into right field. This will score Sanford. Parking at second is Amaral. If he had designs on going to third, he would have made it. Mitchell bobbled the ball momentarily, but Amaral had already committed to pulling in. Caleb Gindel singles home a run. The Barnstormers grab the 1-0 lead. Sean Holton, the third baseman, comes in. 262 for Sean with 24 home runs and 87 runs batted in. Lancaster has scored first here tonight. And when the Barnstormers score first, they win 79% of the time. Amaral off second. Gindel with the lead from first base. Halton digging in. Defense spread out against him. The Gauss pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Halton goes down 0-1. Switch hitting left fielder Trayvon Robinson waits on deck. A walk, a stolen base, and back-to-back singles for the Barnstormers. Halton tries to add to the inning. Outside and low, flagged by Cruz. We go to 1 ball and 1 strike. Sean Halton making his 103rd consecutive appearance in a ball game. Here's the wind and the pitch. Halton swings and misses, gets another breaking ball from Gauss. So it is a ball and 2 strikes. Amaral leading from second. Gindel off first. Robinson waiting to follow. Now Halton will back away. Lancaster has that first run, but you have this set up. You want more out of it. Halton trying to dig out of the 1 ball, 2 strike hole. Man who has driven in 16 runs against York this year. Gauss looking back to Amaral. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside and low. Halton able to stay away from it, not tempted. Sean bats, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He still leads the league in runs batted in by 4. He'd like to extend that lead here in the first inning. Halton batting 2-2, big right-handed hitter. Gauss into his motion, the pitch, breaking ball, torch down the left field line. That ball is hooking and goes foul. Another problem Sean has faced here lately. The hardest hit balls off his bat have gone foul. It stayed in the ballpark, but off the bat it looked like it might have a chance to come off the wall right down the line. It hooked and went foul. And Sean is back in there at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gauss is yet to pick up the first out of the inning. Halton still 2-2 against Gauss, right-hander, ready to go. The pitch just nubbed foul up the first base side. Halton lengthens his at bat. Quick visit for Luis Cruz. Out having a word. No timeout is charged. It's not just the length of the conversation, it's the topic of the conversation. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Halton back in. Gauss about to throw his 20th pitch of the opening inning. And he'll step off and ask for Cruz to go through the signs once again. Halton bats 2-2. Cruz sets the target. The pitch, breaking ball is low. Jay Gauss in some disbelief, as are the fans here in York, that he didn't get the call on it. 3-2 on Halton. Tempting to start the runners here. We'll see. I probably would not. Halton strikes out more than he hits ground balls. 3-2. The runners do go. Here's the pitch, and ball 4 is low. The bases are loaded for Trayvon Robinson. Amaral to third, Gindel to second, Halton aboard, and we're going to hold up play as Paul Fletcher will make a mound visit. Jay Gauss struggling early here tonight. Gauss's last time out beat Long Island 8-1. He gave up 4 hits and 1 run in 6 innings. Well, this is a situation where the Barnstormers need to hang a very crooked number up on the board. Already have scored 1, bases loaded, nobody out. Trayvon Robinson coming in. Trayvon batting .282. He has 7 home runs. He has driven in 34. Nate Coronado, the shortstop, waits on deck. First timeout charged to the York Revolution. Again, under Atlantic League rules, you get 3. If you change a pitcher, it does not count as a timeout. Amaral is at third, Gindel at second. Sean Halton with a lengthy walk aboard at first base. Robinson stepping in, Gauss ready to go. The pitch to Trayvon, fouled at the dish. No balls and a strike. This is the time where you need the extra base hit. The Barnstormers have been hurt a lot in recent weeks by the base clearing doubles and triples. You think of Angelo Sonko the other night. John Griffin had one last week. Jovan Rosa had one last week at New Britain. There have been many. 1 strike to Robinson. Next delivery, outside and low. Trayvon had a good look at it. The count evens at 1-1. Runners lead from everywhere. Gauss back to the plate. Trayvon gets ball 2 inside and low. The count definitely swinging into Trayvon's favor. He leads the ball club in drawing walks. At least per plate appearance. Here's the 2-1 now. Ball 3 off the outside corner. Gauss has to come to Robinson. 3 balls, 1 strike. We're in the top half of the first inning. And we'll try to get a very good look at this. Gauss is ready to go. Here's the 3-1. High and outside. It forces in a second run. Amaral scores. Robinson picking up the 3rd walk of the inning. Nate Coronado will come to the plate. .330 with 5 home runs, 33 runs batted in. And remember, he's a .404 hitter on the road. He has hit a home run here at Peoples Bank Park. Now up the 3rd, Halton to 2nd, Robinson to 1st. Lancaster is but looking for a monstrous first inning here tonight. The pitch to Coronado. Nate takes a strike, breaking ball, gets the outside corner. It's 0-1. And the note of sarcasm out of the crowd here in York, not so much for Gauss as it is for Andro. Coronado bats 0-1. Here's the next delivery. Foul ball back to the screen. Nate let it rip. But now Gauss has him at 0-2, trying to fight back off the ropes. On deck is Steve Clevenger. Base hit needed. Coronado bats 0-2. Gauss is ready. And the pitch, breaking ball, loop to left center field. That one will be in for a base hit. It'll score 1. The Barnstormers are also sending Halton. The throw will be cut off. A 2-run single for Coronado. The Barnstormers are up 4-0. And the first out here in the opening inning is still not recorded. Nate Coronado coming through once again with the Barnstormers outside of Lancaster. 3 hits, 3 walks, 4 runs. Clevenger stepping in. .285 for Steve with 3 home runs and 15 knocked home. The Barnstormers want to be very greedy here in this first inning. Gauss to the set, to Clevenger a strike. It is 0-1. You'd love to be able to deliver the knockout blow to Gauss before he could get out of the first. Robinson leads from second. Coronado from first to Clevenger, a second strike, and it's 0-2 in a hurry. Josh Bell is on deck. Gauss to the plate. Clevenger drives it down the right field line. That ball is headed for the corner. Robinson will score. Coronado is being waved and then held up at third base by Ross Peoples at the last minute as the cutoff man, Ruby Silva, had the ball. Clevenger doubles in the 5th run of the inning. Still nobody out. And Josh Bell stepping to the plate. What a start to this series for the Barnstormers. Josh Bell comes in with runners at second and third. Still nobody out. Two more runners in scoring position. York will keep the infielders back. To Bell, swing and a miss. JB goes down a strike. It is 0-1. That on the 32nd pitch thrown by Gauss here in the first inning. Lance Zawadski is on deck. To Bell, 0-1. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Bell trailing by 2 strikes here, but so is Coronado, so is Clevenger. Here comes the 0-2 to JB. That is outside. Make it 1-2. You've got 3 chances to put a 6th or a 7th run on the board. To Bell, here's the 1-2. Ball 2 below the knees. Two balls, 2 strikes. Barnstormers with 3 singles, a double, and 3 walks. Here in this first inning, 5 runs on the board. 2-2 to Bell. Inside and low, bouncing away momentarily from Cruz, but not very far. And it would have been silly for Coronado to charge to the plate. Bell with a full count. Josh hit 2 home runs earlier this year in this ballpark. Right now, you're just trying to keep the parade going. 5 runs are home, nobody out. Gauss with the 3-2 on Bell. He swings and hits a fly ball out to shallow right field. Toward the line is Mitchell coming on. He'll slide and make the catch. Coronado not tagging and coming home. So Bell flies out too shallow to right field. Lance Zawadski will step in. 217 for Zawadski with 5 home runs and 21 runs batted in. That's twice now that Coronado has held up at third base, not willing to test the arm of Jared Mitchell, even though he slid on that one. Or the arm of Ruby Silva, the second baseman. To Zawadski now, popped up foul. That'll get out of play. Lance is down a strike. It is 0-1. Darian Sanford waiting on deck. But you at least have to get a 6th run home here. They're going to concede it to you. Oh, 0-1. Zawadski swings and tags a ball to straight center. Back goes Witherspoon. He will make the catch. Tagging off third, Coronado. Here he comes. He will score the 6th run of the inning on a sacrifice fly. It is 6-0 Lancaster. Clevenger holds his ground at second base. That'll bring Sanford up for the second time here in the opening inning. Darian walked to open it up. Stole second and eventually scored on the Gindel base hit. Left-hander already warming up in the bullpen. Jared Gaynor for the York Revolution. Sanford digging in. The pitch fouled right at the plate. No balls and a strike. The 40th pitch thrown by Jake Gauss in the opening inning. He is on the 10th batter. Coronado is driven in 2. Clevenger with the 1 extra base hit. Got Steve aboard at second. 1 strike to Sanford. 10th man of the inning. Gauss will bring it home. Breaking ball. Gets back to the outside corner. Sanford didn't think it would. He squared the bunt and drew the bat back. Make it 0-2. Gauss glances back. And Darian swings and misses. So Gauss retires the final 3 batters, but plenty of damage done here in the top half of the first inning for the Barnstormers. 6 runs on 4 hits with no errors. They leave 1, and at the end of a half an inning here tonight, the Barnstormers have a 6-0 lead.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Joe Gardner has been staked to a 6-run lead as he takes this ball game into the bottom half of the first inning. York last night scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings. In the game against Southern Maryland early, they would go on to win 9-2. Alonzo Harris will lead off tonight for the Revolution. Gardner trying for his 3rd win. He had 3 great starts in a row until he ran into Southern Maryland. 2-4 for Joe, a 6.59 ERA. He's allowed 65 hits in 42 1/3 innings. First pitch to Alonzo Harris is a called strike. It is 0-1. Gardner likes to work at a pretty quick tempo, especially when he's going well. Strike 2 to the outer edge. Now 0-2. Sean Halton at 3rd. Nate Coronado at short. Lance Zawansky at 2nd. Josh Bell at 1st. The pitch, breaking ball, just fouled at the plate. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Trayvon Robinson is in left. Darian Sanford in center. Caleb Gindel, the right fielder. Steve Clevenger does the catching again for the Barnstormers here tonight. 2 strikes on Alonzo Harris. Candidate for MVP of the Atlantic League this year. 311, 22 home runs, 71 runs batted in, 29 stolen bases. Comfortable both the outfield and at second base. Breaking ball is low from Gardner. Joe will face Alonzo Harris at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lights on at Peoples Bank Park here at dusk in September. 1-2, ready to go. And to Harris, breaking ball, grounded shortstop. Coronado cutting loose the throw. It is there in time, 1 away. When Gardner's in a good rhythm, he will get a number of ground balls. 1 out. Jared Mitchell, the right fielder, steps in. Now this is a test for Gardner. We talked about Joe seemingly having a mental block against left-handed batters, and the numbers are somewhat staggering with Gardner against the lefties. They have an on-base percentage of .662 against him, and he misses outside to Mitchell. Ball 1, no strikes. That's been the issue. Gardner has walked 28, a lot of them left-handed batters. Ball 1, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Ruby Silva, a switch hitter's on deck. Fastball good for a strike on the inner part of the plate. And Jared Mitchell, it is 1-1. Mitchell having a great second half. Overall, .297 with 14 homers and 60 knocked in. Here's the 1-1 from Gardner. It skips to the plate and ultimately bounces up off the helmet of the left-handed batting Mitchell. The LSU product at 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, nobody on base. Lower half of the first inning, the Barnstormers jump ahead with the 6-run first. Here's the line, 2-1. Strike 2, finding the inside corner to Mitchell. I like the fact that Joe has worked that inside edge twice against the left-handed batter. Still hasn't retired him. It is 2-2. Gardner to the plate. Mitchell pops it up foul. That'll carry back and out of play. Silva's on deck. He has been some acquisition since coming from Sussex in the Can-Am League. He's put up some silly numbers already. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the motion. And the pitch, swing and a bouncer up the first base line. It'll scoot foul. Mitchell had to avoid running into it. That count holds. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So important for Gardner to come out and have a strong inning here in the first. Just keep control of this game on the Barnstormers' side. 2-2. Gardner into the motion. And to Mitchell. High pop fly. That's probably going to get into the seats over on the first base side. Bell is there. Bell is reaching, but it's off his glove by a couple of feet. Still 2-2. Mitchell will not go away. Gardner's made some really good pitches here. A wind blowing out the left field right there would have been handy. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jared Mitchell. Gardner into his motion. Here's the pitch. He misses inside and low. 3-2. You need some kind of put-away pitch here. You don't want to give up a walk when your team has just scored 6. 3-2 still to Mitchell. Gardner's been close to getting him twice now. And the payoff misses. Ball 4 is high. Well, again, Gardner, even though he pitched a left-handed batter well, can't get it out. Ruby Silva, the switch-hitting second baseman, steps in. He is Cuban-born and played in the Cuban leagues through 2009, came to the United States, and was in the Cubs organization for several years. Got as high as AAA. Batted .305 for Sussex County, 4 home runs, 57 runs batted in. But since joining York, he is 6 for 14 with 1 of each extra base hit, 2 runs batted in. Mitchell, a runner at first with 1 man gone. Gardner to the plate, and he serves a strike in there. It is 0-1. I mean, I like the way Joe attacked Mitchell. 1 grounder up the first baseline, just 1 foul, 1 pop-up just out of the reach of Josh Bell into the seats. And eventually Mitchell works out the walk. 0-1 due to Silva. The pitch, swing and a miss. Gardner ahead at 0-2. The slugger Telvin Nash waits on deck. This is a very important 0. You do not want York establishing a presence in this game. Get this crowd fired up. Of course, there are some Barnstormers fans here. 0-2. Swatted foul. Some pretty good bat speed out of Ruby Silva. Played at Iowa 2 years ago, AAA, and hit .282 with 11 home runs. He's got some ability. Years of age is Silva. He's not a big man. 5'11", 180. Gardner, a lob toss over to first to keep Mitchell honest. Jared Mitchell, 24 stolen bases on the year. Infield looking for 2. Coronado and Zawadski up the middle. 0-2, just fouled at the plate, and here we are again. Gardner has made great pitches to the lefties. And we talked about this a lot with Scott Patterson earlier tonight. The difficulty that the Barnstormers have had getting outs. 2 strike foul balls have been crushing to this ball club. Making pitches not quite good enough to strike them out and too good to hit. There's a swing and a miss. Silva goes away. Big second out for Joe Gardner here in the opening inning. Now Telvin Nash will step in. Nash, a .276 batter with 16 home runs, 37 runs batted in. It does not matter where you pitch Telvin Nash. He has got power to clear the fence in any direction. Last time we were here, he hit a home run just to the right of the batter's eye, another one just to the left. Mitchell, still a runner at first. He's there with 2 outs. And the pitch to Nash, swing and a miss. Gardner ahead, no balls and 1 strike. Nash last year hit 15 homers in 54 games, drove in 28 runs. 16 home runs in 45 games this year, and overall with the Revs, 44 home runs in 163 games. That's pretty much a Casey Hobson pace. About dead on. And a Nash, no balls and a strike. Gardner misses inside and low. It is 1-1. We had a 42-pitch top of the inning, and so far a 21-pitch bottom of the first inning. Nothing new, I suppose, between the Barnstormers and the York Revolution. 1 ball, 1 strike to Telvin Nash. Mitchell with the lead off first base. Gardner getting the signal, the pitch, swinging a grounder foul. 1-2. Seven batters reached base tonight, reminiscent of a game early in the season a few years ago against Mike McClendon. All 9 batters with a base hit in the first inning. Breaking ball, strike 3 called on Nash. Fans 2 in the opening inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base at the end of 1. The Barnstormers still up 6-0.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City. They have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, open by 11:30 every day of the week.
You can't ask for a much better start out of the Barnstormers than we have seen here tonight, up 6-0. As we go into the second inning, Bo Amaral steps in. Amaral slashed a single into left and scored a run. Back in inning number 1, Jay Gauss ready to go. And Amaral, a ball off the outside corner, 1-0. A 42 pitch first inning for Gauss. Facing Amaral, Gindel, and Halton here. And a Bo, swing line drive into right center field. That's a base hit. Over to collect it is Mitchell. He'll hold Amaral to a single. The Barnstormers have their 5th hit of the night. Gauss has also walked 3. Caleb Gindel drove in the first run of the game with a line drive base hit, pulled into right field. And, of course, he, too, scored a run in that first inning. Barnstormers do not want to let up here. Still early in the ball game, York with the hottest offense in the league. First pitch, strike to Gindel on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Sean Halton in the on-deck circle. Oh, 0-1 to Gindel. Breaking ball stays high. Caleb lays off. It is now 1-1. Caleb out in right field here tonight. Defense spread out for York. Amaral takes off the pitch. Bouncer through the right side on the hit and run. Amaral will tow second, head to third. The Barnstormers have runners at the corners. They pull off the hit and run. Sean Halton will step in. Everything going right for the Barnstormers so far tonight. Halton drew a walk back in the first inning. Looking for at least RBI number 88 here. Amaral to third. Gindel, the runner at first. Not the classic hit and run where you hit the ball past the guy heading over to cover second. but effective nonetheless as Gindel finds the hole on the right side. The pitch to Halton over at the knees on the fastball. It is 0-1. Barnstormers really have a chance to grab a massive handful of this ball game now. Halton batting, Robinson on deck, and then Coronado. Here's the 0-1 to Sean, swinging a foul out of play to the right as Halton loses the bat handle. 2 strikes to Halton. There is some action once again in the bullpen for the Revolution. I would imagine it's probably Jared Gaynor a second time, but we have not gotten official word and we cannot see. Halton back to the dugout. I didn't see where he was left with part of the bat in his hand, but I think that was the case. About 95% of that bat anyway went flying over toward the third baseline. Sean digging back in, 0-2, at least trying to get Amaral home from third here. Lancaster wants to score and score some more tonight. Gauss works 0-2 to Halton. Low, good stop by Cruz. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Jose Garcia still coaching first base. He got us through the 6-run opening inning. Ross Peoples, of course, over at third. One ball, 2 strikes on Halton. Infield set up, double play depth. The set by Gauss and the pitch. Ball 2 off the plate to the outside. Halton working his way back into it again. It took Gauss until the 8th batter in the first inning to pick up his first out. Working on the third batter here in the second. First and third, nobody down. And a Halton 2-2 pitch, almost hit him inside. We go to 3-2, and the Barnstormers have the option of sending Caleb Gindel. Ross did start the runners back in the first inning as Halton took the walk. Three and two to Sean Halton. Gindel will go. Here's the pitch. Swung on, driven out towards center field. Coming on is Witherspoon. He'll make the catch. Amaral is turned loose. A long throw coming in will be cut ahead of the plate. Halton with the club's second sacrifice fly of the night. He makes it a 7-0 ball game. Sean already holds the franchise record for sac flies. He'll extend it one more. One out. Gindel, the runner at first. Trayvon Robinson will step in. He walked to force in a run back in the opening inning. Trayvon with that tremendous stretch going where he has reached base in 40 out of his last 42 starts, including tonight. His on-base percentage over the last couple of months through that span is over 400. One out, runner aboard at first base. Gauss will go to work on Trayvon and miss low. Ball 1, no strikes. Halton with his 88th run batted in of the year. That passes Josh Bell's league-leading total from a year ago. Seven 0 Lancaster. The delivery to Robinson. Ball 2 is inside and low, and getting a piece of it, enough of it, is Cruz. Gindel opted not to go to second base. Big edge in the count for Trayvon Robinson, trying to get to be a second runner here in the inning for Nate Coronado, who singled in 2 runs last inning. Motion and a Robinson swinging away for a strike. Swings and misses against Gauss. Gauss with 1 strikeout on the evening. Two balls, 1 strike to Trayvon. And the pitch, sharp grounder pulled foul toward the camera well at the far end of the first base dugout. Trayvon in there at 2-2. Gauss trying to settle down and not force Mark Mason to go to the bullpen in the second inning. He's given up 6 hits so far and 7 runs. 2-2 to Trayvon Robinson. Popped up foul out of play to the left. 3 walks off of Gauss. And his pitch count climbs towards 60. Barnstormers up 7-0 here in the top of the second. Gendel a very short lead off first. 2-2 to Robinson. He looks at strike 3 called. Off-speed pitch across the letters. Robinson went to pull the trigger and froze and knew he was beaten. Second strikeout for Gauss. Here is Coronado. The 2-run single for him to left center field back in the first inning. He is a remarkable 41 for 100 on the road. He has hit safely in every road game he has played but 3. Two outs, Gendel still at first. Coronado with a big swing and a foul ball rifled off to the first base side, clearing the net and up into the crowd. Barnstormer shortstop, trying to keep this second inning going. Lancaster's gotten 1 additional run out of it. Gauss to the set. Coronado drives this down the right field line, but that's going to fade and go foul. Make it 0-2 on Nate once again. There's the guy who's been here the second half of the year. 35 runs knocked in now. The 25-year-old Dominican-born, but grew up in Philadelphia. No balls, 2 strikes. Gauss to the plate. Breaking ball is low. 1-2. Clevenger in the on-deck circle. 1-2, off-speed pitch, ground ball toward the hole at short. Backhanded stop by Dent. He'll quickly flip the second base and get the force out on Gendel. Ryan Dent with one of the better gloves in the Atlantic League. Lancaster picking up 1 run here in the second inning on 2 hits. No errors, and there was 1 man left on base. We're through an inning and a half tonight. The lead has grown incrementally. The Barnstormers with the 7-0 advantage.
Enjoy great ballpark food at discount prices. The Lancaster Barnstormers offer numerous chances to enjoy your favorite ballpark foods this summer. On Sundays, Burke's hot dogs are only $1 all game long. Hess's Barbecue brings back the all-you-can-eat pig roast on Mondays and all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are also Fill Your Tummy nights at the stadium, where for only $10, you can stuff yourselves with popcorn, hot dogs, fries, nachos, and soda. Upstairs, we have Pat's Pizza and Pinball Mondays and Fat Pig's Wing Wednesdays, where you can pair food and beer with a Barnstormers game. Barnstormers baseball, make a night of it.
Silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Mark Mason and Ross Peoples will be managing this game differently. Ross can't play for tomorrow. Mark Mason can. And I think that's why Jay Gauss has stayed in for the first 2 innings. Here's Isaias Tejeda, the designated hitter. He'll be leading off here in the second. 308 average for Tejeda with 17 home runs, 78 runs batted in. This guy has been a weapon for York over the past couple of seasons. Joe Gardner into his motion. Tejeda steps out of the way. Ball one inside and low. So again, it's up to Gardner to be able to pitch with the lead, come out, throw strikes. You'd like to see him get through the innings quickly. Not really the case back in the first. Chris ground ball foul up the third base side. Tejeda batting at 1-1. Luis Cruz and Travis Witherspoon to follow. Michael Burgess not in the lineup tonight for York. He's done a lot of damage to the Barnstormers. By the way, the Barnstormers, if they sweep this series, not only will go to the playoffs, but they'll retain the Community Cup. Dribbler foul. It is 1-2. Last night, when York had pretty much put the game away against Southern Maryland and Lancaster was trailing Long Island, I talked about that being the consolation prize. But now they would come hand in hand. If the Barnstormers get to the playoffs, they'll keep the Community Cup and vice versa. 1-2 on Tejeda. The motion, Gardner to the plate, and that is fouled off Tejeda's foot. Ow, ow, ow. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Gardner's getting outs. He's having trouble getting quick outs. He threw 23 pitches to 4 batters in the first inning, and Tejeda has forced this AB to a 5th pitch. Lancaster trying to keep their playoff hopes alive one more day. Playing them one at a time. It's all you can do at this stage. Joe Gardner, 1-2 to Tejeda. And ball 2 is off the inside corner. Now 2-2. These outs just are not coming quickly. The weak 2-strike foul balls again plaguing Barnstormers starting pitchers. Here's a 2-2. Tejeda with a foul off to the right, and he'll get this at bat to a 7 pitch. York doing what we talked to Scott Patterson about Somerset and Bridgeport doing. Still 2-2. Joe is ready, and to Tejeda, ball 3 up and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's got to throw a strike here. Lancaster leading by 7. Leadoff walks under those circumstances are toxic. Here's the payoff pitch. Tejeda pops it up. It is, however, into the twilight. Zawatsky has to battle that. He's all right to make the catch. Tejeda retired. 1 out. Luis Cruz, the catcher, to step in. Cruz 277 with 5 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Bases blue tonight. It's their prostate cancer awareness night here at Peoples Bank Park. One out. Here's the wind, and Gardner's pitch. Ground ball left side into the hole goes Coronado. He'll set. He's got time. The throw good. Cruz retired. Gardner 2 away. Travis Witherspoon to the plate. Witherspoon 276, 8 home runs, 47 knocked in. Barnstormers would love to get Gardner through 6 or 7 innings here tonight. And it will be easier if the Barnstormers can keep building upon this lead. That way you save your bullpen for tomorrow. Brad Bergeson, and try to get him through 5. To Witherspoon, up and in. Ball 1, no strikes. So it's not just about playing for this game, but a big enough lead, you can set yourself up for tomorrow. Gardner misses again. It's 2-0. I guess sometimes the harder you try to just throw strikes, the more difficult it becomes. 2-0. And a Witherspoon. This one across. Gardner fastball. We go to 2-1. Gardner largely a sinker baller. And he'll get the ground balls. 2-1, swing and a miss. 2 strikes. First, one more in the second for the Barnstormers. It looks like Gauss may still be in there. Time called. Gardner was just about to get into his motion. The sign given. Here's the 2-2 on Witherspoon. High and outside. Full count coming up. Sign given by Clevenger. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball again to Coronado. Backhanded stop. On the money. 3 ground outs to shortstop tonight behind Joe Gardner. Nothing across. In the bottom half of the second inning, we're at the end of 2. Lancaster has the 7-0 lead. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz, we have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Well, many of the in-house ones talking more about now a season gone by at home. I love that Friday night concert series. I think that's a great idea. I'd like to see us be able to build on that for next year. Those were fun while I'm running around the ballpark with my post-game tasks, listening to the variety of bands we had come through. Here is Steve Clevenger leading off the third. Jay Gauss still in there. Clevenger goes the other way. A line drive base hit to start off the third inning. Steve doubled in a run his first time up. Now he chalks up Barnstormers base hit number 7 and gets Josh Bell back to the plate. Bell flied out to right field. Back in the first inning, sliding catch made by Jared Mitchell, and the Barnstormers didn't spring Coronado loose from third base. He would score on the ensuing at-bat from Lance Zawansky. Lancaster 7, York nothing, top half of the third inning. Bell stepping in. Clevenger inching his way off first. Gauss to the plate. Bell looks at a breaking ball inside and low. Ball 1, no strikes. Barnstormers picked up 10 base runners out of 16 men that have stepped in. 1-0 to Bell. Josh looks at a fastball for a strike called here. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Barnstormers trying to put more on the board here in the third. Just put as much distance between themselves and the York Revolution as possible. Swing and a miss with an off-speed pitch. Gauss works ahead of Bell at 1-2. 2. Sanford swinging in the first. Robinson looking in the second. He has Bell at a ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, breaking ball, pulled slowly to first base, and Nash can only get the out there. Clevenger ahead to second with 1 away, and Zawatsky stepping in. JB completely off balance on the swing. And the topper toward the first baseman, Nash, but Nash had to come in and make the play. No chance to get the lead man. Zawatsky with a sac fly back in the first inning. Lance, of course, the big hit to glue the rally in the 8th inning together. A ground single up the middle off of Patrick Kreider last night. Clevenger leads from second. Gauss to the plate. Zawatsky takes a strike over at the knees. It is 0-1. Darian Sanford, the on-deck batter. Time called. Zawatsky reworking his feet in the batter's box. Taps the bat off the plate. He's ready to go. Time back in. Gauss to the set. Here's the 0-1 to Lance. Swing on a line drive into right field. That is in for a base hit. Clevenger will be parked at third. Zawatsky has Barnstormers base hit number 8 of the game. Darian Sanford stepping in. He has walked and he has struck out. Amaral 2 hits. Gindel 2 hits. Clevenger 2 hits. Zawatsky a single and a sacrifice fly. You see the pattern. Of course, the Barnstormers have guys batting left-handed everywhere but the 4 and 6 slots in the batting order, which are Halton and Coronado. 1 out with runners at the corners. To Darian, slap to the shortstop. This should be 2 even with Sanford. The throw back to first base will still be in time. Sanford slams his helmet down. It gets thrown out of the game. A 6-4-3 double play turned against Darian Sanford, and he cost himself the rest of this ball game, and Ross Peoples is going to be livid about that with a 7-0 lead. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and the Barnstormers leave 1. They quickly turn the double play against Darian Sanford, and we will go to the bottom of the third, 7-0 Barnstormers.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
So the Barnstormers have to completely realign the defense. Ross Peoples not wanting to use Cole Garner in the ball game, which I thought would be the move. So here we go. Follow this. Caleb Gindel moves to center field. Sean Halton goes out the left. Trayvon Robinson moves over to right. Lance Zawatsky switches over to third base. And Jose Garcia is at second base and batting in the leadoff spot. So we'll try and recap that. Meanwhile, Mark Mason comes out with the lineup card. And that in itself is a concern. Was Garcia not on the card? And then you'd see a lot of extra reshuffling. Darian Sanford on a close play at first, bang, bang play, ruled out on the back end of a 6-4-3 double play and slammed his helmet down. He got thrown out of the game. And that caused some havoc with the Barnstormers, who are up by 7. And now Ross Peoples is being called over. Going over the lineup card with Manolo Alejandro. And he has his explanation. And Alejandro is going to explain to Mark Mason. Apparently he's on there somewhere. All very puzzling as we head into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. But just, I'm sure the coaching staff will be having a discussion with Darian. There are times it's okay to get thrown out of a game if you're a player. If that's the tying run that's going to score late in the game or something like that, and you know in your heart the umpire's wrong, that's one thing. Now the first pitch finally to Ryan Dent is a strike called from Joe Gardner. It's 0-1, but you just hope that's not a tipping point, as the Barnstormers not only ground into yet another double play, swing and a miss, and to Dent it's 0-2, 122nd ground ball double play turned against the Barnstormers this year, but they lose a key player, and it's just the 3rd inning. The 0-2 pitch from Joe, down low, ball 1, 2 strikes. Halton, Gindel, and Robinson now the outfield from left to right. Zawadzki at 3rd, Coronado at short, Garcia at 2nd, Bell at 1st. 1-2 delivery, and down swinging is Ryan Dent. He went for a breaking ball down low. 3rd strikeout for Gardner. With one away, the switch hitting 3rd baseman Chase Simpson stepping in. But you don't want to give this red-hot York team a hint of an opening. One out, bases clear here. Gardner's retired 6 in a row. The pitch to Simpson across for a strike. It is 0-1. No wind to speak of here tonight. Decent turnout here at Peoples Bank Park. I don't know how many Lancaster folks are here. I saw several as I was coming back from the clubhouse much earlier. Fouled away, 2 strikes the count. And I imagine there are more than the handful that I came across at about 5:45. The 0-2 pitch on Simpson. Fastball runs inside. Ball 1, 2 strikes. The motion. Gardner gets a foul tip at home plate. We've seen that so often out of Joe tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Chase Simpson. Alonzo Harris on deck. 7-0 Barnstormers. 1 out into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The wind, the pitch. Simpson skies this to shallow right field. Zawadzki going back, but he'll concede it to Trayvon Robinson. Trey's there for the grab. 2 outs. Back around to the top of the order, and Alonzo Harris. Harris grounded to short, opening up the ball game. Fairly lengthy at bat against Gardner. 2 outs, base is clear. To the plate, Harris takes a sweeping breaking ball outside and low. Ball 1, no strikes. Third baseman Zawadski plays up here. Breaking ball snaps in. Harris bats at 1-1. Clevenger and Gardner coming right back to that breaking ball. These two have worked together very well as a battery. 1-1. Ball 2 missing to Harris. Jared Mitchell, left-handed batting right fielder on deck. The only base runner York has had so far in the game on a 1-out walk in the first. Here comes the 2-1. Harris can't hold on the swing. He got another breaking ball from Joe. Gardner trying to keep the momentum on the Lancaster side. To Harris, 2-2. The bat started. And Gardner may have thought he had the third out there. Foul ball in the dirt. I guess that's the result. Clevenger didn't quite dig it up in time. The 2-2, Gardner's pitch ripped and fair down the left field line, headed toward the corner. Digging it out is Halton. He has some trouble picking it up into second with a double as Harris. Gardner almost had him struck out twice on the at-bat. And then Harris rips the ground ball past Zawadski and down the line. Runner in scoring position, the first one that York has had in the ball game. Jared Mitchell will step in. Gardner just looking to get an out on Mitchell here. Not time to panic. Harris's 27th double and 50th extra base hit. Here's the offering. Gardner is high. Ball 1 on Mitchell. 1-0. York trying to build up ahead of steam with 2 outs in the bottom of the third as they face Gardner for the second time in the game. 1-0. Mitchell swings, smashes that. Knocked down by Bell. Garcia will pick it up, throw to first. They're going to send the runner, and all the way home is Harris. A base hit for Mitchell. Garcia backed up Bell in the hole as Josh knocked it down with the diving try. Fired back to Gardner covering. That was late on Mitchell. Was coming all the way. York is on the board. It's 7-1. Here's Ruby Silva. Joe Gardner's got to cut this off quickly. York, the best offense in the Atlantic League in the second half. They have back-to-back hits. Glove on it. Garcia tried for the out at first. Harris never slowed down. Fouled at the plate for strike 1. Mitchell has 24 steals. You might see him go here. Gardner thinking along the same lines, lobs a toss over to first base. Lancaster 7, York 1, bottom half of the third inning. The Revs cash in on their first scoring chance. That's what speed will do. And the offering, fly ball foul, twisting out of play down the left field side, hit a ways by Silva. 0-2 from Joe Gardner. The double play in the top of the third, a game changer. Gardner had to wait while all the defensive changes were sorted out. Now 0-2, popped up, foul ground. That will carry out a play as well. And again, so much of this about the 2-strike foul balls. Harris, at least once, just barely met a ball. Gardner thought he had the out, but apparently it got down in the dirt before Clevenger could scoop it up. That was before Harris doubled. 0-2 here on Silva. Mitchell leads on first base. Gardner takes a breather, steps back off the rubber. Runner goes. The pitch is bombed to right field. Back on this, Robinson. Will it hold up? It does. Trayvon to the track. And he makes the catch for the final out. Mop the brow there. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. Gardner and Clevenger need to sit in the dugout and maybe hatch a different plan for the 4th inning. York has scored. We'll go to the 4th. It is Lancaster 7 and York 1.
Juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself. There isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
This is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
Well, in the one game that does not matter tonight in the Atlantic League, New Britain leads Southern Maryland 2-0 in the top of the 4th. New Britain eliminated, Southern Maryland already in. Long Island and Sugar Land, no report yet. They'll be starting in about 15 minutes. And Somerset leads Bridgeport 2-0 in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Bo Amaral leads off the 4th against Jay Gauss. Bo tonight 2 for 2. He has scored twice. Jumps out of the way of an inside breaking ball. It is 1-0. The double play off the bat of Darian Sanford in the 3rd inning just changed the complexion of this game so much. He gets thrown out. Gauss gets to stick around. To Amaral, ball 2 inside and low. And the Barnstormers were on the verge of delivering the knockout blow there. And it was a very close play at first. Ball is now loose from the York bullpen. Anderson De La Rosa now coaching at first. Here comes the 2-0. Amaral with a ground ball base hit into right field. He is 3 for 3. 9th hit for the Barnstormers tonight off of Gauss. Caleb Gindel is 2 for 2. He'll step in. 7 runs on now 9 hits for the Barnstormers with no errors, 3 left. York a run on 2 hits with no errors, and the Revs have stranded 2. Mark Mason's coming out. He wants his bullpen. That's going to be all for Gauss. I believe it'll be the left-hander Gainer coming in. He's been warming up for a while. We've got the pitching change. And while we do, we're going to pause for these words from our sponsors.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
silicon, microprocessors, and thousands of lines of code. Raw elements transformed into innovation by Lexus. For a limited time, experience advanced safety technology for yourself at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. But hurry, these offers won't last. Now through September 5th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Well, Jay Gauss has been brilliant for the York Revolution since signing back in June, but tonight, not his night. He gives up 9 hits and 3 walks in 3+ innings. Comes out after allowing the leadoff single to Bo Amaral here in the 4th. Caleb Gindel will face the left-hander Jared Gaynor, the 25-year-old out of Cave Creek, Arizona. Barnstormers saw Gaynor in the last series here. Overall, the lefty is 1-2 with a 6.85 ERA. He's made 3 starts for the Revs. And the first time Lancaster saw him, he was marvelous here in August. Pitched a perfect 6th inning. And then the next night, the Barnstormers reached him for 4 hits and 2 runs. He gets to face the left-handed batting Gindel and then Halton and then the switch-hitting Trayvon Robinson. Look for more here in the 4th inning. The leadoff man is already on. Gindel has a couple of base hits to right, one on a line drive, drove in a run, the other a hit-and-run base hit, a chopper through the hole. Infield looking to turn 2 once again. Gaynor will go to work on Gindel. Lead to the plate, and a bouncer again on the right side. With it is Silva in the hole. He's got to make the play at first. Amaral advancing to second. Ruby Silva going a long way to his left to make the play on Gindel. Amaral had to hold up to allow the ball to clear. Silva really got over quickly to save a base hit. Here is Halton, who has walked and knocked in a run with a sac fly to center. Amaral, the runner at second base with 1 out here, as Gaynor faces Sean, and then Trayvon Robinson on deck. Lancaster trying to rebuild the 7-run lead. It's 7-1 here in the 4th inning. Amaral leading from second base, and to Halton. It snakes back to the inside corner for strike 1. Barnstormers just need to keep the offense going. Look back at Amaral. 1 strike to Halton. Sean looks and takes a ball outside and low. Not a lot of velocity to it. But Gaynor trying to work the Barnstormers like Jake Fisher did last night. An assortment of off-speed stuff. It's tremendous for 7 innings. Kevin Baez went to Patrick Kreider in the 8th, and Kreider gave up 2 hits and a run before he left. To Halton in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Cubs beat the Cardinals earlier today, 8-2. 4-game lead for the Cubbies in the Central over the Cards. The Brewers also in the thick of it. Sean Halton bats here. 2 balls and a strike. Amaral leads from second. Gaynor to the plate. Ground ball toward the hole at shortstop. Then up with it. He hesitates, throws across to first, not in time. He thought about going for Amaral at third, decided not to, and lost Halton. Trayvon Robinson will now bat with runners at first and third and 1 out. An infield single for Halton. The Barnstormers with men at the corners. The ball was hit too slowly, and Amaral got too good of a break off of second. He made that decision right away, and Dent didn't have the play there. Too late. First and third for Robinson. Gaynor looks at Halton, comes to the plate. Trayvon with a line drive out to right field. Mitchell going back. It's over his head and bouncing out to the wall. Home to score is Amaral. Halton will park at third, and Trayvon Robinson is in at second with an RBI double. Two-base hit for Robinson. The lead back to 7. And Nate Coronado steps in with 2 men in scoring position. Coronado 1 for 2 with 2 knocked in the game. When Trayvon hit that, I thought it was simply going to be a sacrifice fly. But Mitchell got turned around slightly and the ball sailed over his head. Infielders will play up against Nate. Halton's at third. Robinson is at second with 1 out. Coronado gets a breaking ball well outside. Ball 1, no strikes. And the reason that Halton didn't score is he thought the same thing. He had to hold up at first base. To Coronado, line drive out the center. Over goes Witherspoon. He will make the catch. Tagging off of third is Halton. He'll come home. The Barnstormers pick up their 3rd sacrifice fly of the night. And it's the 3rd run batted in for Nate Coronado. It is now a 9-1 ball game. And Steve Clevenger will face the lefty. Clevenger's 2 for 2 with a run batted in. Robinson still at second base. He is there with 2 outs. Eight runs off Gauss in 3+ innings. Gaynor goes to work on Clevenger. Inside, almost hit him. Ball 1, no strikes. Josh Bell is on deck. 9-1 Lancaster in the top half of the 4th inning. Clevenger played to pull here. Into the dirt, 2-0. It's Steve, a guy who can really spray the ball around. Two balls and nothing to Clevenger. Lancaster keeping the offense alive. And a run now off of Gaynor. Robinson leading from second base to Steve, up and in, 3-0. Bell looming next. I don't know if Clevenger has the green light or not. Here's the 3-0. Never know. Ball 4 is low. Bell will step in from the right side of the plate with 2 outs and 2 on. Josh 0 for 2 in the game as a left-handed batter. He flied out the right, grounded out the first. Has not been involved in the offense. (9-1) Lancaster. And Bell looking to put an exclamation point here. Robinson at second. Clevenger, the runner, at first base. Gaynor goes to work on JB. High and outside, ball 1. Zawadzki waits on deck. Here comes the 1-0. Bell pops this up behind first base. Nash going back. Silva taking over. And Ruby Silva makes the catch to end the inning. JB retired for the 3rd time in the game, but Lancaster adds 2 runs on 3 hits with no errors. 2 runners. Paths will go to the bottom of the 4th. Lancaster is up 9-1.
Hey, Jane, check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with 9s in a line, you could win Progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg is your hometown appliance store with hometown values. We always give back to our community, and this year we are proud to be a sponsor of the East Petersburg Amphitheater Project. Stop in and purchase from us and keep your money here, helping others in your community. We are back again this season with a $25,000 giveaway at the stadium, and you can stop in and register for a Barnstormers game jersey. We want to be your appliance store and give back to all of you. Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg.
Lancaster with a 9-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Telvin Nash, Isaias Tejeda, and Luis Cruz, the scheduled hitters against Joe Gardner. This is a big inning. If Gardner can come out and shut down the Revs here in the bottom half of the 4th, Lancaster has a really good handle on this game. But the Revs, second time through the order, they started to get to Joe. Harris the double, Mitchell the RBI single, and Silva, they fly out to the warning track, closing out the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Joe Gardner working to Nash. He struck him out looking back in the 1st inning. 9-1, Barnstormers leading. Here's the wind. Gardner to Nash. Ball 1 is inside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. And looking at the major league scores, the A's are up 4-0 over the Phillies in the 4th inning tonight. Dodgers lead the Nats 7-0, possible NL Championship Series preview. 1-0 pitch, belted to left field, doesn't have enough elevation to get over the wall. Playing it is Halton Nash around first. He'll hold on with a long single, but that is the 4th straight York batter to hit the ball very hard here off of Joe Gardner. Fortunately, it started with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Silva fly to the warning track for the final out there. Only 1 run scoring. Now Isaias Tejeda steps in. Tejeda popped up back in the 2nd. Gardner has to find a way to start getting some outs again. He leads by 8. You want to throw strikes, but York is the most potent lineup in the league. You don't want to let them get untracked. So it's an interesting middle ground you need to find. Right now, if you're Gardner, you just like to find a way to get a ground ball. Nash leads off first base, a long single for him. Tejeda, a foul at the plate. It's 0-1. Gardner is in that crazy in-between mode where they either hit the ball hard or barely touch it and nick it foul. 1 strike, the count on Tejeda. Runner at first base is Nash. You don't have to worry about his speed. Orioles and the Yankees tonight tied at 2. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning. The White Sox own a 1-0 lead at Detroit in the 4th. No balls, 1 strike here to Tejeda. Gardner comes set. Here's the pitch. Swing and another foul tip. It is 0-2. Pirates and the Reds are tied 1-1 in the 3rd inning. The Red Sox lead the Rays 2-1, top 4. Guess who's leading again? Cleveland, trying to make it 23 in a row. The Indians with a 3-1 lead over the Royals. That guy Jose Ramirez, another home run, now 27. They're throwing his hat into the American League MVP ring. Tejeda bats 0-2. The Gardner pitch, outside and low, covered up nicely by Clevenger. Ball 1, 2 strikes here. Mets and the Bravos, no score in the 2nd. Toronto at Minnesota tonight. Seattle's at Houston. Milwaukee at Miami. San Diego at Colorado. Texas at the Angels. And Arizona at San Francisco. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, dribbled up the 3rd baseline foul. Isaiah Tejeda continues to bat at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, we talk about that crazy in between. Either a hard hit ball or a bare touch and a foul at the plate. 1-2. The count to Isaiah Tejeda. Gardner ready to go. Here's the pitch, and ball 2 is outside and low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it just seems to have gone that way for Barnstormers starting pitching all year. 2-2. Gardner to the plate. This is lifted out the right field and fairly deep. Back goes Robinson. Trey's got a play and makes the catch for out number 1. Luis Cruz will step in. He grounded out his first trip. Nash still at first with 1 away. Lancaster 9, York 1. Gardner's pitch count running high. Lancaster would have loved to have gotten 6 innings out of him. Now you might be looking at 5. Here's the pitch. It breaks outside and low to Cruz, 1-0. Could change if Gardner can get a double play ground ball here. Taken on the inside corner. Cruz letting it go. It's a ball and a strike. And all this, not that this game is in any immediate jeopardy. It's certainly not. But you want to save the bullpen for tomorrow as much as you can. 1 ball and 1 strike, and a Cruz. Breaking ball, beaten foul right at the dish. 1-2. Joe's gotten 3 ground ball outs, but none with a runner on base. 1-2 working to Cruz. Here's the pitch. And again, it's just touched foul. Straight back. It's been all night long for Joe Gardner. If you could turn these minimal touches foul into outs, Gardner would be breezing through this game without the high pitch totals. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cruz. Joe comes back. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball low and a check swing from Cruz. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nash again, a walking lead off first. He's been there for quite a while. 2-2. He takes the breaking ball off the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nash probably not going here, but this could build an inning against Joe Gardner. Center fielder Travis Witherspoon waits on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away. Here's the motion and the pitch. Strike 3 called. The breaking ball is over. Cruz goes down looking. Gardner strikes out his 4th. Witherspoon will step in. Travis grounded out back in the 2nd. All 3 ground balls hit have been handled by Coronado at shortstop. Defense spread out here with 2 outs. Lob throw over to first. Just a greeting card to Telvin Nash. Clevenger setting the target. Gardner to the plate. Swing and a miss by Travis. No balls and 1 strike. Lancaster will have Zawadski, Garcia, and Amaral up in the 5th inning. 0-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Gardner has Witherspoon, 0-2. 2 that did not cross paths with the Barnstormers in 2016. Witherspoon was gone over here to York before Joe Gardner came back. 0-2 on Witherspoon. Nash the runner at first, 2 gone. And the Gardner pitch, breaking ball missing, not by much. Ball 1, 2 strikes. I'm not sure how well that sinker is working for Gardner right now. Trying to get an out another way. To Witherspoon, 1-2. He got him to reach. A swing and a miss. 5th strikeout tonight for Joe Gardner. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. An important 0 to put up. It keeps the momentum on the Barnstormers side. We'll go to the 5th. Lancaster leads 9-1.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 306 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
Lance Zawadski steps in to lead off the 5th. He's now the 3rd baseman for the Barnstormers tonight. 1 for 1. He has a single and a sac fly. The end of the motion. Fastball cut on and missed. He came up and in on Zawadski. No balls and 1 strike. Waits on deck. He hasn't batted in a while. 0-1. Zawadski drives a foul to the left. 2 strikes. Lance, in the playoffs here last year, homered in Game 3 for Sugarland as the Skeeters swept. He also made a couple of dazzling plays at shortstop. Here's the 0-2. Gainer missing low with his hook. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're only in the top of the 5th tonight in a ball game that started roughly an hour and 3/4 ago. Lancaster owns a 9-1 lead. The starter, Jay Gauss, has been knocked out of the game. Zawadski batting 1-2 here against the reliever Gainer. Chopper the other way. Slow dribbler over toward third. Fair ball, and Simpson can't make the barehanded pickup. Zawadski is on with a leadoff infield single. Second hit for Zawadski in the game. 12 total for the Barnstormers, who have gotten their leadoff man on base in all 5 innings. Garcia will step in. Action in the bottom of the 3rd after Darian Sanford was ejected from the ball game. Garcia, as a Barnstormer, 2 hits and 8 at-bats. No need to bunt here with an 8-run lead. Gainer to the plate, fastball high and outside. Ball one, no strikes on Garcia, an import from the Pacific Association. He joined the Barnstormers back on August 25. The 1-0 pitch almost hits him. Gaynor falls behind 2-0. Bo Amaral is on deck. He's 3 for 3. Big lead for Zawadzki off first. Gaynor to the plate, 2-0. Garcia looks at a strike right on the outside edge. We get to 2-1. Swinging a foul tip back. Jose at 2 balls and 2 strikes. His playing time has been curtailed since the reinforcements came back. Fouled away. Garcia keeps it going at 2-2. Last batted against Somerset in game 1 of the doubleheader on the 3rd. Ball 3 is outside to Jose, 3-2. Lancaster leading by 8. Zawadzki, in all likelihood, not running here. It's just the 5th inning, though. 3-2 pitch. Jose fouls it back. He spoils a pitch and stays in. 3 hits now off of Gaynor. 2 haven't left the infield. The other one cleared the outfielders. No home runs for the Barnstormers in all of this. Clevenger and Robinson with doubles. Garcia waits a 3-2. Gaynor ready to go. The pitch to Jose. Chipped foul out of play down the right field side. A good at bat for Garcia. He and Gaynor squaring off. Pitcher and batter. Neither one has ever been in a major league organization. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Garcia being played to hit the other way. And the payoff is high. Ball 4. He picks up a walk. Bo Amaral stepping in with runners at first and second. Nobody out. Bo already 3 for 3 here tonight. Amaral with his 5th 3-hit game. He has not had 4 hits in a game at any point. No time like the present. Zawadzki up to second. Garcia, the runner at first base. In almost 2 weeks, that was a heck of an AB for 9-1 Lancaster, playing the top of the 5th inning. The Barnstormers need to win all 3. A look back by Gaynor and to the plate. Amaral fouls it off his wrist, straight back. 0-1. Bo is singled to left, to right, center, and to right. Up the middle would look good here. He's facing Gaynor for the first time. The 3 singles all coming off the starter Gauss. 0-1. Amaral with a swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Gaynor has him 0-2. Caleb Gindel waits on deck. Barnstormers looking to win their 75th game of the season, which would match the 2015 playoff team. 2 strikes, ground ball toward the middle. This could be 2. Stepping on the bag is Silva. His throw is wide, and the ball gets knocked out of Nash's glove. Amaral is going to dart for second and coming home with a run. Bo Amaral, with the tag being applied by Telvin Nash, able to knock the ball out of Nash's glove. He'll be charged with an error, and the Barnstormers lead 10-1. The out on Garcia, 4 unassisted. And then E3 not only the run to score, but Amaral to reach and go to second. No RBI there, of course. Here's Gindel, 2 for 3. And a Caleb big breaking ball back to the inside corner for strike one. Now that had all the makings of a double play. Right from Silva. Back loose from Nash's glove on the tag. Gindel gets a pitch in the dirt away. Good stop by Cruz. 1-1 here to Caleb. Lancaster scoring what is right now an unearned run. And that's a situation, I believe, where you can assume the double play. So in recreating the inning, it would be 2 outs and a runner at third. 1 ball, 1 strike to Caleb Gindel. Sean Halton waits on deck. The pitch. Caleb swings and misses through a fastball. It is 1-2. Lancaster ahead by 9 here in the 5th inning. Amaral off second base. Here's a 1-2. Gindel with a drive out to left field, but that will settle into the glove of Alonzo Harris for out number 2. Good piece of hitting for Gindel behind in the count, but he couldn't get it around Harris at all. Here's Halton. Sean has an infield base hit, a sacrifice fly, and a walk. He is 1 for 1, has scored twice, and has knocked in 1. Amaral, the runner at second with 2 outs. Barnstormers catching a big break with that error. That's one of the few times all year an error has allowed the Barnstormers to get an extra runner in this season series. To Halton, up and away, ball 1, no strikes. Switch hitting Trayvon Robinson waits on deck, and he's already dinked Gainer once tonight for a long double. Amaral taking the lead to Halton. Ground ball pulled up the third baseline foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Lancaster bats are starting to quiet down here in the 5th inning of play. No loud hits recently, not since the Robinson 2-bagger. To Halton 1-1, this is elevated to right field and shallow, is Jared Mitchell. He'll be there and make the catch, ending the inning. Lancaster tacks on 1 more, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left out on the bases. We're halfway through regulation tonight. 4.5 innings logged with the score. The Lancaster Barnstormers 10 and the York Revolution 1.
Local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Here's Ryan Dent leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. A strikeout victim against Joe Gardner back in the 3rd. Gardner now ahead by 9. And the Barnstormers just looking for Gardner to get some outs. 78 pitches, though, through the first 4 innings. Had to wait for a ball which was laid to a rest in front of the Barnstormers dugout to be cleared. Gardner's pitch. Dent swings away, drives at the center. Gindel coming on. Caleb there for out number 1. Dent's retired, and those are the kind of outs that Gardner needs right now. 1 away, Chase Simpson stepping in, and not even so much Gardner, but the bullpen. The longer Gardner can go in this game, the more rested the bullpen will be for the rest of the weekend. Victor Mateo and Brad Bergeson tangle tomorrow night here. 1 out, Chase Simpson stepping in. He fly to time. It was Gindel. Actually, it was Robinson. I take that back in the 3rd. He was
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancaster.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers baseball. Make a night of it.
I hope I wasn't off terribly long. I've been checking periodically to make sure the connection is good, and I gather that we are all back together here. 10-1 Barnstormers going into the top of the 7th inning. 10 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 6 runners left by the Barnstormers. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error, and 5 left on by the York Revolution. Josh Bell leads off against Jared Gaynor here in the 7th. Bell tonight is 0 for 3. Breaking ball gets the plate. It is 0-1. Gaynor has retired 5 in a row and has pitched extremely well since the Robinson double. The run ended up being earned back in the 5th inning. Ball 1 is low and away. 1-1 on Bell. That run earned as they gave the error on the throw by the second baseman Silva, and not the handle by Nash coming off the bag at first, trying to swipe the tag on. Josh Bell takes ball 2 low from Gaynor. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lancaster has drawn 5 walks in the ball game, along with 12 base hits. Only 2 doubles out of there. To Bell, here's the 2-1. He takes ball 3 below the knees. Lance Zawatsky waits on deck. Three balls, 1 strike to Bell. Gaynor's pitch, strike 2 to the inside corner. Bell wanted to pull the trigger there, at least at one point. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gaynor ready to go. Here's the payoff, and Bell swings and misses. They'll get their Mott sticks here in York. 1 away. Zawatsky stepping in. Lance is 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Has a run scored, a run batted in. He's now driven in 6 runs since coming back to Lancaster. Gaynor has caught fire. And a Zawatsky breaking ball swing and a miss. It is 0-1. Either that or you have 2 teams trying to pick up the pace of this game. 10-1 in the 7th inning. The Barnstormers will be going to the bullpen. Gardner is done. Next offering passed everything. Zawatsky a ball and a strike. So it's either going to be Leverett or Gonzalez coming in the bottom of the 7th. Lancaster leads by 9 runs. Gaynor's pitch, catching the outside corner, 1-2. Jose Garcia waits on deck. I prefer that you keep the attack going here a little bit. 1-2, Zawatsky fouls off a breaking pitch and stays in at 1-2. Gaynor has started at 3 different times this year, so the fact that he has thrown 55 pitches should be okay for him. Nobody else throwing in the York bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Zawatsky, being played slightly to pull here. And the delivery, breaking ball. Again, it gets away from Luis Cruz. And we have a 2-2 count. Garcia picking up the loose baseball, moseying over from the on-deck circle. Two. Zawatsky jam pops this up, and the only guy who can make a play is the pitcher Gaynor. 2 men are gone. Garcia stepping in. He walked back in the 5th inning. The last 7 Barnstormers have been retired, 2 of them hitting the ball well. Gindel and Coronado with line drives right at people. To Garcia, he takes the first one down and away. 1-0. Witherspoon, Dent, and Simpson batting in the 7th inning against the Lancaster bullpen. Foul ball back. It is 1-1. The Barnstormers, for the time being, will keep the Munsons and the Downings and the Schumans and the Carters in reserve for tomorrow. 1-1. Garcia pops this up. Looks like it'll stay in play. Overcomes Nash toward the barrier. Reaches in and not quite. If he could have had time to set himself over there, he might have been able to reach in and make the catch. Garcia bats at 1-2. Lancaster's last hit was an infield single, a little roller up the third baseline by Zawadzki, leading off the 5th inning. Now 2 outs into the 7th. But this too may be a product of the 10-1 lead. To Garcia, here's the 1-2, breaking ball, strike 3 call. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Jared Gaynor. Nothing across here in the top of the 7th. That's 8 Barnstormers in a row that have gone down. Time for the 7th inning stretch here in York. It is Lancaster 10, York 1.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Hey, Barnstormers fan, be in the know as soon as it happens. We have a number of social media options for you to stay in touch with everything Stormers. Know what Silo's up to, the latest player moves, game results, schedule changes, and be the first to get in on surprise flash deals. Or simply buy our tickets or ask us questions. So like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and be a part of the growing Barnstormers family on social media.
Bottom of the 7th inning, here is Luis Gonzalez replacing Joe Gardner. A quality start for Joe. Great effort from the Barnstormers right-hander, and an unusual effort for Gardner in that he wasn't getting a lot of ground balls. He was getting a lot of strikeouts. You don't see that out of Joe often. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. He walked 1, struck out 9. Now turns the ball over to Luis Gonzalez, making his 3rd relief appearance. He also made 4 starts. And Gonzalez, on that bad knee, seems to be able to hang in for a couple of innings, and things have gotten away from him. It's by the 3rd or 4th. He has been sent to the bullpen. Jarrett Leverett out there as well. Travis Witherspoon, Ryan Dent, and Chase Simpson facing Gonzalez here in the bottom of the 7th inning. You'd love to see that knee get fully healthy next year. This guy is terrific when he's healthy. 34-year-old left-hander from Santurce, Puerto Rico. We'll go to work on Witherspoon. First pitch, fastball for a strike call. It's 0-1. I had 107 pitches for Joe Gardner tonight. What an effort. from Gonzalez. Strike two, paints the outside corner. He's got Witherspoon in an 0-2 hole. Sugar Land up 3-0 now at home against Long Island. Bridgeport a 3-2 lead into the sixth at home against Somerset. And the pitch, fly ball, center field, hit well, scooting back, Gindel, still traveling, still going. He'll reach up and make the grab. Witherspoon flies out to pretty deep right center. One way here in the seventh inning. That will bring on Ryan Dent, who has struck out and lined to center. They've written up 3-1 at Southern Maryland in the top of the seventh inning. You look at the overall standings. The Barnstormers are up by 7 games over York and Southern Maryland and 9 over Sugar Land in the Freedom Division. That's where you just want to cringe. Lancaster first half going down to the last game and losing. And unless mayhem happens tonight, the second half will at least go down to the last 2. 0-1. And outside to Dent, ball 1, strike 1. And Bridgeport wearing the same shoes, although they didn't push Somerset quite as much in that first half. Bridgeport won more games than the Barnstormers did, but they were locked out with 4 games to go. Here's a 1-1, skied out the right field, charging over toward the line. Robinson, Trey is there. Dent's retired, 2 up and 2 down against Gonzalez. Chase Simpson will flip around to bat right-handed.
Next up for the Revolution, your third baseman, number 27, Chase Simpson.
Two outs on fly balls. Gonzalez will take it. He's just out there to get 3 outs, maybe 6. Simpson 1 for 2 off Gardner. Fly out to right and a single to left. Gonzalez to the plate. That is swung on and missed over top of a breaking ball, 0-1. Amaral, Gindel, Halton for the Barnstormers in the 8th, and it looks like Jared Gaynor will stay out there. Well, he has saved the rest of his team's bullpen. Gonzalez back to work, misses badly to Simpson. Ball 1, strike 1. Left-hander brings it home. Simpson with a fly ball to right. This has some legs to it. Back goes Robinson. Trayvon with a play. He'll make the catch. Luis Gonzalez pitching to contact the 3-batter, 9-pitch inning. We're through 7. Lancaster continues to lead 10-1.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
Bo Amaral, Caleb Gindel, and Sean Halton will face Jared Gaynor. We go to the top of the 8th. The Barnstormers with a 10-1 lead. Looking to take this second half to tomorrow. Now, the Barnstormers were 4 out with 8 games left to play in the first half, trailing Southern Maryland. And forced the tie and ended up, of course, losing what was ultimately the deciding game, the tiebreaker, the final game of the first half. Now, the Barnstormers were 3 out and trailing going into the bottom of the 8th last night. A loss would have been the end of the year. And they came back to win that one. Here's Amaral. He is 3 for 3 and has also been safe on a fielder's choice ultimately. High for ball 1-0. The only ramifications of the error was allowing Zawadzki to get the third. Well, to come around and score, actually. He would have scored anyway. 1-0. Amaral torches it foul into the first base seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lancaster's bats have been silenced now for the last 9 hitters. Amaral realistically hitting into a fielder's choice. 3 out of 4 with 3 runs scored for him. 1-1 from Jared Gaynor. And the pitch breaks across the plate, 1-2. The Barnstormers with the 6-run first inning. And for a while, they continue to peck away, build the lead. Joe Gardner, the great start. Bo Amaral batting 1-2. And the breaking ball is just nicked foul. He stays in at a ball and 2 strikes. Jared Gaynor, the 62 pitches in relief. Here's a 1-2. Amaral, ground ball down the line at first. Handled by Nash. Took a little bit of a funky bounce, but he stayed with it. 3 unassisted. Gaynor has gotten on a roll. 1 away. Here's Gindel. Caleb 2 for 4. Barnstormers, I guess, saving it for tomorrow. Victor Mateo. Lancaster got to him. The last time they faced him, they had trouble earlier in the year. To Gindel. High fly ball out the left. Harris trotting in. He's there. 2 outs, and Halton will bat.
Congratulations to the following names for the lucky winners of our scavenger hunt. Suzanne Shea, Kristen Earhart.
Halton has 1 run batted in tonight. 1 out of 2 officially. He scored 2 runs. Sean's in the top 5 in the league in runs scored as well as in runs batted in. He's crossed the plate 75 times. It's been quite a year for the Barnstormers Player of the Year. To the plate, a strike. It is 0-1. And, you know, Sean's not the most outgoing guy in the area around. He's not the guy that the fans are going to get to know, but he's totally genuine. One strike. Gaynor comes back and skips it away. Make it 1-1. 67 pitches out of the bullpen, and finally York has somebody else throwing. He's given up 3 hits, 2 runs. He's walked 2, struck out 2. Sean Halton up there, a ball and a strike. The pitch, ground ball toward the middle, through a base hit into center. Trayvon Robinson stepping in with 2 outs and a man aboard as the Barnstormers collect hit number 13 for the game. Robinson has driven in 2 tonight. He has scored 1, officially 1 for 3. Lancaster breaking up the streak of outs, officially at 10 for Gaynor. This game has kind of settled into the doldrums. Barnstormers wouldn't mind keeping it that way. They don't want any excitement. 2 outs, holding the base runner, not being held. Robinson goes after the first pitch, pops it up, foul territory, charging over. Nash will slide and not quite be able to hold on. Almost a great play by Telvin Nash. There is a substantial amount of room in foul territory here in York. That wasn't hit terribly high. It stayed on the field of play right near the first base dugout. Nash didn't have quite enough time to get there. 0-1 to Robinson. Nate Coronado on deck. Coronado with an off night for a road game. He's just 1 for 3. Well, he's only driven in 3 runs. I should mention that. And to Robinson upstairs. Ball 1, strike 1. Top of the order due in the 8th inning for York. Luis Gonzalez should still be in there as far as I can tell. To Trayvon. Ball 2 is outside. 2 balls and a strike. And the Barnstormers conceivably could leave Gonzalez out there for the 3-inning save and not use anybody else. That way you got the rest of your stable available for tomorrow. Robinson goes after the 2-1, and he hits a shallow pop fly out the left. Ryan Dent calls for it. The shortstop squeezes down the inning. No runs, 1 hit for the Barnstormers, no errors, and a man left. Bottom of the 8th coming around. It's 10-1 Lancaster.
Check it out. 2 brand new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, you just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
And with 9s in a line, you could win Progressive top prizes instantly.
Instantly? That's fast.
Not faster than me drinking this frozen slush.
You okay?
Ouch. Headache.
Oh.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg is your hometown appliance store with hometown values. We always give back to our community, and this year we are proud to be a sponsor of the East Petersburg Amphitheater Project. Stop in and purchase from us and keep your money here, helping others in your community. We are back again this season with a $25,000 giveaway at the stadium, and you can stop in and register for a Barnstormers game jersey. We want to be your appliance store and give back to all of you. Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg.
Luis Gonzalez out for the bottom of the 8th inning. Harris, Mitchell, and Silva scheduled. Alonzo Harris, 1 for 3 with a run scored in the game tonight. The Barnstormers need 6 more outs to stay alive into the second to last game of the season. Harris is also grounded out and struck out, along with the double inside the third base bag. Zawatsky really guarding that line at the moment. Gonzalez is inside and low. Ball 1 on Harris. Luis picked up 3 flyouts in the 7th inning. It's okay. He'll take that. Ball 1 to Harris. Gonzalez comes back. He's inside and low again. 2 balls and nothing. If you're the Barnstormers, you don't want to have to use that back end of the bullpen tonight. You want them available for tomorrow and Sunday. 2-0 pitch. Ball 3 missing. 3-0 from the veteran Luis Gonzalez. Gonzalez coming back to play last year after 3 years off. Strike taken, 3-1. Harris trying to get something massive started in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gonzalez, 3 balls, 1 strike. Harris up there with pink batting gloves. The pitch is low and gets away from now Tyler Clark doing the catching. Ball 4, runner on. Jared Mitchell heads to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Luke Westfall has started to throw for the York Revolution. He was injured the last time these two teams met up. Gonzalez is high. It's missed with 5 out of 6 pitches here in the 8th inning. 1 ball and no strikes to Mitchell, with Ruby Silva waiting on deck. Gons comes back. The 1-0 pitch is outside. He's missed with 6 of 7 here in the 8th inning, and you wonder if the knee has flared up. 2-0. Lancaster doesn't want to get anybody else throwing in the bullpen. They're holding Harris. Here's a 2-0 pitch. High fly ball, center field. Caleb Gindel will settle under this one. He'll make the catch. That's a big out for Gonzalez here. 1 out in the 8th inning. Ruby Silva to the plate. He'll bat right-handed for the first time. 0 for 3 with 2 Ks against the starter Joe Gardner. The last 16 outs for the York batters have either been on strikeouts or fly balls. Gonzalez to the plate, swing and a miss. Silva stays in left-handed. I guess he's left-handed all the way. Yeah, he is. I thought somewhere I saw he was a switch hitter. No balls and 1 strike from Luis Gonzalez. Gons comes back. He is low, 1-1. One big thing tonight. The left-handed batters only reached 3 of 8 plate appearances against Gardner. When I talk about a big step in the right direction after the struggles he has had. Silva swings and misses 1-2. The Barnstormers have just attacked him down low all night long, and it's really worked. 1 out, Alonzo Harris, the base runner. Gonzalez back to work on Silva. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. 10 strikeouts now for Lancaster pitching. First for Gonzalez. Here's Telvin Nash, who is 2 for 3. Singles to left field in both the 4th and the 6th innings off of Gardner. One of them off the big wall. Four more outs needed here tonight. Now, Bell fades behind the runner. He's going to go. Swing and a miss. Clark will throw through, and the ball comes off of Garcia's glove. So by the throw, Harris gets the stolen base. They weren't holding him, but I think if you throw through, it's no longer defensive indifference. We'll check. Telvin Nash bats at no balls and a strike. New ball put into play. Clark just moves into the 7th spot in the batting order, and he'll come up and swing the bat in the 9th inning, apparently against Westfall. Coronado, Clark, Bell would be the hitters. Only De La Rosa and Garner are back. Fastball is high, 1-1 on Nash. Gonzalez sets, and a Nash outside, 2 balls and a strike. Isaias Tejeda, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Nash batting 2-1. Gonzalez to the plate, swing and a miss. That had good late break to it. Down and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzalez trying not to let anything happen here in the 8th inning. And I would not at all mind the 3-inning save for Luis Gonzalez tonight if he doesn't get into any trouble. Save everybody else. Remember, they're short Kutch now. 2-2. Nash looks at strike 3. Gonzalez strikes out his second, and there goes Telvin Nash. He's been thrown out. Luis Gonzalez walks 1, strikes out 2 in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And 1 man left on base. We'll go to the 9th inning of baseball here tonight, and we'll go there without Telvin Nash, who is having a continued discussion with Manolo Alejandro. He got thrown out for firing the bat, just as Darian Sanford was chucked for throwing his helmet earlier in the ball game. And now things get even more heated tonight. Telvin Nash continuing to go after Manolo Alejandro. We're headed to the 9th inning. The score, the Lancaster Barnstormers 10 and the York Revolution 1.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with the Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 306 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350, IS all-wheel drive, and IS Turbo. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy baseball and music this summer at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No matter what your taste in music might be, we have a night for you. Rock, oldies, country, funk, jazz. We have it all covered over 8 weekend nights this season. Each of those evenings will kick off with a Barnstormers game at 6:30. Following the baseball action, music will take the spotlight to complete our entertainment doubleheader. Check your Lancaster Barnstormers pocket schedule or our website at www.lancasterbarnstormers.com to check out the concert dates. Barnstormers Baseball. Make a night of it.
The York Revolution will lose the designated hitter as Isaias Tejeda takes a defensive position. He's out at first base, replacing Telvin Nash, and the new pitcher in the game, Luke Westfall, will bat spot. New York would have to have a big inning in the bottom of the 9th to get that pitcher spot up there. It would be due 9th, and that's why Mark Mason not really caring right now. Nate Coronado, Tyler Clark, and Josh Bell facing Luke Westfall here in the 9th inning. Westfall 2-7 out of the bullpen with 1 save. Not a bad ERA, though, 3.30. 42 hits in 43 2/3 innings, 16 earned runs. He's walked 17, struck out 61. Well, stay from the left side. Nice outing for Jared Gaynor. 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, walks 2, and strikes out 2. Coronado, the first man to face Westfall. Nate 1 for 3 tonight with 3 runs batted in. Westfall's first pitch, fastball over but low. Ball 1, no strikes. Tyler Clark into the ball game here this evening. He owes me a home run. It's been a standing joke, not only between myself and James Murray, but Clark's in on it too. James has gotten a call. Tyler's only home run of the season. Coronado batting 2-0 as Westfall misses the inside corner. Nate played the other way. He's given all kinds of daylight in left center. Half swing. I think he went too far. He did on the appeal down to Jorge Terran. 2 balls and a strike here. Josh Bell in the hole. The Barnstormers have not scored since the 5th inning, but they haven't really needed to. High fly ball, right center field here. Going back, Witherspoon still going back, and the walls will not contain it. Nate Coronado to deep right center field, a home run. He's on the road, folks. That is home run number 6 on the season, and he makes it an 11-1 ball game, a 4 RBI night for Nate the Great. Tyler Clark stepping in. But Coronado gave that one a ride to right center. That's where his power is. Jarrett Leverett again working in the Barnstormers bullpen, so apparently Gonzalez will be done after 2 innings. Clark batting for the first time tonight, takes a big rip and bounces it foul. It is 0-1. Bell and then Sawatsky against Westfall now in the 9th. Westfall comes back. Big breaking ball loops into the zone. Clark up there at 0-2. Tyler only a couple of base hits all year as a right-handed batter. The kick 0-2. Breaking ball. Strike 3 call. Westfall strikes out Tyler on 3 pitches. Josh Bell will step in. Bell has done nothing in the midst of all of this. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Coronado, again, a big night on the road. He has been unreal outside of Lancaster. I don't know if he feels a little bit more pressure, all his family coming over. Maybe it's just a statistical fluke. Foul out of play to the right side. Bell bats at 0-1. On the road, he's hitting over 400. Bell takes a big breaking ball for a second strike. It's 0-2. Barnstormers have scored in 5 different innings tonight. That home run, their first. Breaking ball, swinging a foul tip. JB gone on strikes. Westfall has come back and fan 2. Here's Zawadski. 2 for 3, a run scored and a run batted in. Barnstormers need to pick up 3 more outs to send this race to tomorrow night. Zawadski will dig in here against Westfall. The pitch breaks outside and bounces away from Cruz, 1-0. It makes the possibility of pulling this miracle off even bigger. 1-0, ball 2 is away. Garcia waiting on deck. Two balls, no strikes to Zawadski. A lot of room in left center for him, and he's gone that way quite a bit. Ground ball down the first base line, speared by Tejeda. He will shovel off to Westfall, and Westfall wins the foot race. It was close over at first. 3-1 on the conversion. The Barnstormers with the leadoff home run by Coronado. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Bottom of the 9th coming up. It is Lancaster 11 and York 1.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine?
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Jared Leverett works the bottom of the ninth. Isaiah Tejeda, Luis Cruz, and Travis Witherspoon will face the Barnstormers left-hander. Lancaster ahead by 10 runs. Leverett 7-8 with a 6.45 ERA on the season. Tejeda leading off. He is 0 for 3. Everything in the air to right field. 2 pop-ups to second and a fly out to Trayvon Robinson. Leverett ready to go. First pitch, Tejeda takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Luis Gonzalez gets 2 innings here tonight. Walks 1, strikes out 2. And Alonzo Harris did get credit for a stolen base because Clark threw. Up and in from Lev. The ball and a strike on Tejeda. Sugar Land has opened up a 4-0 lead over Long Island in the top of the 5th. The Skeeters no longer in the race, but they have had quite a stretch run. They were eliminated last night, and in fact, they were eliminated before they lost because they were in dire straits on tiebreakers. So they couldn't have gotten through anyway, and then they lost in extra innings to Bridgeport. 2-1 to Tejeda. Leverett with the windup, and he is high and outside. 3 balls and a strike. Jarrett pitching for the first time since the Sunday ball game. He threw an inning, gave up a hit and a run, walked 2. Behind Bergeson, fly ball, dead center. Gindel saw it a little bit late. This has some airtime, though. He's able to fade back and make the catch on the warning track for out number 1. Took Gindel a while to figure out where that ball was headed, but he had time to retreat. 1 man down. Luis Cruz stepping in. Ball was hit very well by Tejeda, but the dead center. Got about 390 feet worth of distance on it, but that's not 400. 1 out. The batter is Cruz. Leverett to the plate. Nice looking breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Cruz struck out looking twice against Gardner after grounding to shortstop. Breaking ball, strike 2 on the outside corner. Witherspoon is on deck. Still, the Barnstormers have not gotten a ground ball out since the 2nd inning. How peculiar. 0-2, fastball high. Cruz bats at 1-2, but the York is a big home run hitting team. It'd be nice to get the Sunday and see the wind blowing in. 1-2, just away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Cruz. 2 outs left to get. We go to tomorrow. That's strike 3. Leverett painting the inner part of the plate. 12 strikeouts for Barnstormers pitching now. Travis Witherspoon is the final hope tonight for the York Revolution. He is 0 for 3. 11-1, bottom of the ninth inning. Leverett to the plate, and it kicks away from Clark on a ball low. 1-0. Lancaster would still need to win 2 more after tonight. York needs to win just 1. Barnstormers have made it a little bit more uncomfortable for the Revs, who were looking at celebrating last night. Swing and a miss. Witherspoon batting at 1-1. And then following the Barnstormers game, the disappointment with the Lancaster rally to take down the Long Island Ducks last night. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Witherspoon can't believe that. (11-1) Lancaster. 1 strike left to get. Leverett is ready. The motion, the pitch, and that just missed on the fastball. 2-2. Here's the windup. Leverett to the plate, and ball 3 stays outside. So he hasn't been able to finish off Witherspoon. Barnstormers pitching tonight. 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. They've allowed 5 hits. Only Harris with an extra base hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jarrett Leverett 3-2. Leverett back to Witherspoon. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And we are done here tonight. A dominating performance for the Lancaster Barnstormers in Game 1 of this 3-game series, and a little bit more pressure on the York Revolution. We'll be back with the wrap-up show coming your way next. Our final score this evening, Lancaster 11 and York 1.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Not only does the Federal Tap House have the largest selection of craft draft beers in Lancaster City, they have amazing food to go along with those elite beers. Open every day for both lunch and dinner, their menu has something for everyone, including a special lunch menu available every Monday through Friday, as well as their normal menu. So when you're in the mood for great wood-fried pizzas, handcraft coal-fired burgers, or our all-inspiring duck fat fries, head over to the Federal Tap House. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, open by 11:30 every day of the week.
The Lancaster Barnstormers get a little bit closer to their ultimate goal with a win in the opener of this 3-game series tonight, a very convincing win, but they still need to take the next 2. Welcome back to the wrap-up show this evening. The Barnstormers win big, 11 runs, 14 hits, no errors, 7 men left. And for the Revolution, 1 run on 5 hits with 1 error and 6 men left on base. Joe Gardner gets the win. Brilliant effort from the Barnstormers right-hander tonight. He had 1 little hiccup back in the 3rd inning. 3 batters in a row hit the ball very hard against him, and that's where the Revs scored their run. But overall, Gardner 6 innings, 5 hits. He walked 1, struck out 9 to go to 3-4 on the year. Jake Gauss did not have it tonight for the York Revolution. He gives up 9 hits and 8 runs in 3+ innings and falls to 10-4 on the season. No save in the ball game. We saw the home run late. Nate Coronado threw a very deep right center field, launching one up onto the hill, leading off the 9th inning for Coronado, home run number 6 on the campaign. 3 hours, 3 minutes, the time of our contest tonight, and a crowd of 4,324 at Peoples Bank Park. The Barnstormers, in effect, put this game away in the top half of the 1st inning. They struck for 6 runs against Jay Gauss. It started with a leadoff walk to Darian Sanford, who stole second. Bo Amaral lashed a base hit into left. Sanford had to hold for a second, couldn't score. But Caleb Gindel took care of that with an RBI single into right field. Runners at first and second with nobody out. Sean Halton walked, so did Trayvon Robinson. That forced in a second run. Nate Coronado lined a base hit into left center field, driving in two more. Steve Clevenger doubled into the right field corner. That brought Robinson home with the fifth run, making it a 5-0 ball game. Still nobody out. Josh Bell lifted a fly ball to right field, not deep enough to score Coronado. That was the first out, but Lance Zawadski with a sac fly to center made it 6-0. The Barnstormers added a run in the second on singles by Amaral and Gindel and a sacrifice fly for Sean Halton. At that point, a 7-0 ball game. The only run off of Lancaster pitching tonight scored in the bottom of the third when Alonzo Harris doubled down the third base line and scored on a single to right field by Jared Mitchell. Ruby Silva flied out to the warning track and right. But once the Barnstormers put two more runs on the board in the top half of the fourth inning, the spirit was taken out of the York Revolution. They managed only 3 singles and a walk. The rest of the way, they only got one man into scoring position the rest of the night. Those 2 runs came on a leadoff single by Bo Amaral, a ground out by Gindel. Sean Halton with an infield base hit. Shoot Amaral over to third base. Trayvon Robinson doubled over the head of Jared Mitchell and right. That scored Amaral, and it was Coronado's turn for the sacrifice fly. The third of the night for Lancaster. He scored Halton. It was 10-1, and then Nate Coronado, who had the biggest night for the Barnstormers, launched the home run to right center field in the ninth inning as the Barnstormers put their 11th and final run on the board, winning 11-1 tonight. Luis Gonzalez, Jarrett Leverett come out and combine for 3 shutout innings, 4 total strikeouts. Lancaster pitching fanned 13 in the ball game tonight. And one just final view of tonight's ball game. Anderson De La Rosa still with that ailing left arm and only occasionally right now walking off the field hand in hand with his 4-year-old son. So the Barnstormers win it this evening 11-1. They stay alive in the Freedom Division race for one more day. It is a 2-game deficit now, and of course if the Barnstormers win the next 2, they'll have the tiebreaker against the Revolution, and they will win the Freedom Division in the second half and advance to the Freedom Division Series against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Oh, if Southern Maryland could have taken a couple of games from York earlier in the week. York came into tonight on a 6-game winning streak and a very impressive 6-game winning streak. They were looking like the Cleveland Indians for the last several days. The Barnstormers end that tonight with this big 11-1 win. We'll look at the out-of-town scores next on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Lancaster wins tonight 11-1. Nothing else is settled in the Atlantic League tonight. New Britain leads Southern Maryland 3-1 with play in the bottom half of the ninth inning. That has not as of yet gone final. They're in the bottom of the fifth down in Texas. Sugarland with a 4-0 lead over the Long Island Ducks. Bridgeport has taken its 3-2 lead into the bottom of the seventh against the Somerset Patriots. If those 2 games hold, the Liberty Division race will be trimmed back to just 1 game, with Bridgeport having the tiebreaker. Long Island's magic number would remain at 2 Bridgeport giving itself a chance to catch up to the Ducks here this weekend. Now taking a look at the MLB scoreboard, a lot of action, of course. It's a Friday night, and they had the Friday matinee in Chicago at Wrigley Field, and it was all Cubs today, 8-2 over the St. Louis Cardinals. The A's lead the Phils tonight 4-0 into the bottom half of the ninth inning. Only 2 hits for the Phils in the ballgame. Dodgers winning big at Washington, 7-0, bottom of the 8th. That one seemed to be settled pretty early. The New York Yankees beating up on the Baltimore Orioles again. Tonight it is 8-2 in the Bronx. They've gone to the top of the ninth. Tigers up 2-1 over the Chicago White Sox. That is in the 8th inning. In Cincinnati, the Reds lead the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-1. They're in the top of the 8th. And in the bottom of the 8th inning in Tampa, the Rays lead the Boston Red Sox 4-2. Now in Cleveland, the Indians were up early. They're trailing in the top half of the 8th inning. Kansas City owns a 4-3 lead at Progressive Field. The Indians have come back once in that series to extend to 22 games. They'll need to do it again tonight, the winning streak. Atlanta 3-2 over the Mets through 6. Minnesota with a 3-2 lead at home against Toronto. That is through 5.5. Houston 4-0 over Seattle in the top half of inning 5. Brewers and the Marlins deadlocked at 2. They're in the 5th inning. Colorado 4 and San Diego nothing through 3.5. And still not yet underway. Texas at Anaheim against the LA Angels. And Arizona is at San Francisco. Barnstormers with the 11-1 win over the York Revolution tonight. And that keeps Lancaster alive for one more day. Don't book those plane flights yet, Debbie Heisey. This is going at least to tomorrow. The Barnstormers taking on the York Revolution again at 6:30 here tomorrow night. Brad Bergeson will be on the hill for the Barnstormers. Bergeson has not won since before that makeup game against Southern Maryland back in August. And he has been stuck at 9 wins for a while. His arm is bothering him. But he's going to go out there tomorrow night and try to give the Barnstormers 5 innings. Lancaster will look to get the Victor Mateo and give Bergeson some breathing room. Bergeson will come in with a record of 9 wins and 9 losses. He will match up against Mateo. The York right-hander will enter action tomorrow night with a record of 6-9. The Barnstormers had trouble with Mateo earlier this year. They got to him the last time they faced him. So that's our matchup tomorrow night. The Barnstormers will need to win that one to send it to Sunday. And if that should happen, the Barnstormers will be in an identical situation to the first half. 38-31, needing to win that 39th game in a half to go to the playoffs. So here we are once again, right down to the wire. It's been that way both halves. The Barnstormers have simply had a sensational season, but it may not culminate in a trip to the playoffs. They need to win the next 2 to get it done. But I'll leave you with this thought coming from Sarah Peoples. Ross relayed this to me earlier today. The season started on a 4-game losing streak. It put the Barnstormers in an early hole. Wouldn't it be something if the script is flipped right at the end, the Barnstormers finish up on a 4-game winning streak and advance to the postseason. 75-63. The overall record for the Barnstormers here in 2017. A great season. It should be good enough to go to the playoffs, but the Barnstormers get caught in the split season crossfire and still need to pull out this second half. That'll do it for us here tonight. I'm going to quickly check the Liberty Division race again, see if there are any score updates there. And they've just gone to the next half an inning. Top 8 in Bridgeport, the Bluefish up 3-2. Top 6 in Sugar Land with the Skeeters up by a 4-0 score. So you can follow that on the Atlantic League website. We'll run down what happened tonight when we join you tomorrow. New Britain has finished off Southern Maryland in a game that has no significance toward the standings or the playoff berths in the Atlantic League. So that'll do it for us here tonight. Join us again on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report tomorrow at 6:15. Until then, for all the cast and crew at Clipper Magazine Stadium, they're all planning to come over here for Sunday, and perhaps, again, what would be tantamount to a one-game playoff. We hope it takes place at 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. The Barnstormers will need to win again tomorrow night to get it there. But what a last-ditch effort, once again, by this Barnstormers team that has risen from the ashes so many times here in 2017. Until tomorrow night, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.